Greetings and welcome to CRT Gaming Podcast, episode number 41, Golden Axe, The Revenge of Death Adder. This is Jones, and with me this evening is my good friend Daspic. How are you doing this evening, Daspic?
I'm feeling like I liberated the town and crushed things. Yeah, man, I'm good.
Yeah, so this is kind of like a little unintentional, happy things that happen. But, like last week I had picked Osmond, which had never had a physical release. And he followed up with the Golden Axe, which, The Revenge of Death Adder. Basically, up until, I think, the end of last year, it's never had a home release, and that home release happens to come with an entire one-up cabinet. If you want to get it. Yeah, have
really?
you seen that? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's like a little, the little one-up cabinet, it's the little miniature.
Yeah.
They made one for this, but outside of that, it's never been home.
Yeah. That's kind of tragic. It's such a good game.
Well, one thing about this game that I thought was a little interesting, but like none of the original cast of Golden Axe comes back, other than the like the Quasimodo, of Gilea's Thunderhead, running around on the big Goa guy.
Yeah, he's the only one, right? Because the warrior.
Quasimodo, I was thinking of
the Hunchback.
Quato.
You're thinking Quato.
Yeah. He's more of a Quato.
Yeah, because the one guy's name is Stern, and he wasn't named Stern in the first game.
No, it's a totally different guy. That was Axe Battler.
Yeah, Axe Battler with a sword. And this guy, he wears the same underwear.
Well, they both, shopped at the Structure in the 90s.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I really like about this. One, it's a sequel to a much beloved game, Golden Axe, right? The look of it and the combat are just, I really liked them. And one of the things I like is, there's so many different little animations. Now, I only played with Stern, but there were so many little animations that, like fisticuffs and smashing them with the butt of your sword. And I know some of that stuff was in the first game, but this one just seemed to have a lot of really cool ones. When you're beating the shit out of everybody. And plus you had that one move that you had in the first game that was the attack and jump button at the same time that gave you some iframes so that you could avoid getting killed. Aside from the combat animations and everything seemed to have like a really nice impact. And I don't mean the sound, but like the screen shake or whatever it was, when you smacked the shit out of somebody, it felt like you were smacking the shit out of somebody. When you slammed your sword on somebody, like everything kind of jarred a little bit, and it was cool, man. It was so awesome. And then on top of that, like some of the times, like when you destroyed enemies or background things, when they would explode, it would scale like into the screen and into the background, which was really a nice touch.
Yeah, I think as far as the sequels go, this is everything that you should want in a sequel. It's bigger, arguably better, as far as everything that's in it. Like you almost have it's a very limited, but it's much more open than the first game. Like you have a combo system in this, in a sense, because you can go from like the diving kick and like into like swinging, punching, beating them with the hilt of your sword. And then you could also do if you jump right next to them, you kind of knee them in the gut and spring off of them. And so you can extend a combo with it. And then, as you finish the combo up, as they're floating away, you can totally cancel right into your magic and then, get like full super combo.
Yeah, I loved all that, man. It was a nice departure from the original, which just had very, standard beat 'em up attacks. But this one, it was much more fluid, and it was faster. The animals that you ride, the monsters and shit, they were much better as far as what all they could do, like the scorpions and the mantises that would the ones that weren't using just the fire breath that they they had like actual melee attacks. Those were awesome. 'Cause they would like grab people and stab them with their tail and throw them across the screen.
Bite their heads when they kill them.
Bite their heads. Yeah. That was great. I really did. I think my favorite was towards the end though, the fireball skeleton dragon that you rode.
Yeah, I think so.
That was awesome. That was awesome. I was like, I don't want this one to go away. The skeletons, when they reared their ugly head, I was prepared. I approached them with much trepidation from the PTSD that I had from the original Golden Axe.
They're just as evil.
They're just as evil because they're hella fast, and they block the little bastards. They use those shields.
Yeah, they attack much quicker. So when they gang up on you, it's over quicker. In the original Golden Axe, it was like you get beat down in slow motion. You got to sit there and watch the whole thing happen.
Yeah, they'd put you in that death grip where they'd hit you and then they'd wait for you the reel back animation. Something they'd hit you again. It's like, oh, you dirty bastard.
Yeah, they were tagging in and out of just beating you in a combo.
And then, yeah, in this one, they just murder you. If two of them get on, you forget about it. It's good night. I like the diverging paths in the levels to add a little replay value.
Yes, that definitely does.
Like the little things, even with the bonus levels with the elves and stuff when you're chasing them. Like the one level where you're chasing the piece of meat and slicing it up to eat it. That was awesome.
You're chained up in one of those. Like you have to free yourself from the ropes. That was kind of interesting.
One thing I love, this is way further into the game, but it's a quick game, so it all goes by pretty fast. But those tentacles, when you're on that ship, and those tentacles come up, and you can cut them off and eat them, and get your health back. I was like, and then I just started throwing enemies into them, and they were just feeding the tentacles all day. That one boss, it was the big sledgehammer guy, but it was the red one that. You thought you were going to fight two dudes, but then he runs away. And then that leads into another boss fight. And then he starts off there, and you're like, all right, I guess I'm going to fight him here. And then he runs away again. And it ends up being like 5 boss fights.
Yeah, he keeps getting out of town.
Yeah, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I don't want to get to talk about Death Adder too quick. But he was formidable. He was solid. I enjoyed that. We haven't talked about one of the best things, and that's the magic. And I have not seen the magic on any of the other characters because Stearns is so goddamn good that when you fire it and it just starts melting people's faces, my only complaint is that they didn't do one of those for all the different enemy types, only for one.
Yeah, so that enemy's got to be present when it happens.
Yeah. But man, it's so satisfying.
That one is good, but you're really missing out if you don't see Goa's magic. You should go back and check that out.
Oh, I'm going to. I want to see them all. I love.
Well, the other two are. Let's see, Dora, which is like the Centaur girl. Hers is just kind of like some earth magic. It does like some rocks land or whatever.
Like Axe Battler's was in the first one.
Yeah, it's very kind of Then the other guy with the little trident, Trix, he would be more of a strategy character. Like say you're playing this with a group of people, you would kind of always want him to get the magic because he makes apples, so he can actually heal everybody.
Oh shit!
Playing by
That's
yourself,
cool.
I don't see that as very fun or useful. But playing with a team, yeah. But then the Goa with Gilius, this big
Quato.
With Quato. This big skull demon head comes out of the sky, and it kind of just smoke bombs everything. It's pretty cool looking.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Does it do any face melting?
No, but it kind of it seems to react differently with different characters. Like the little Groot guys running around, they all catch on fire and kind of wilt and go away.
That's cool.
But yeah, I mean, it's more. It's probably the second coolest one, at least, next to Sternblade.
Stern.
But what I did like about the magic, though, is you can stockpile magic. So,
yes.
Keep picking up potions, which was nice. I like that.
I don't know if I played around with the game settings or not, but every time I died, I started off with 9 potions, and that was great.
Yeah, they got used.
Yeah, they got used. And yeah, that was a hell of a room clearer, man. You know, in the first game, you have all those moments where you're traveling on big creatures, and this one you get to, fly in on a dragon for the epic showdown, which was awesome. You ride on the boat, and then the whole the ship crashes into yours. That was cool. But then you end up flying in on dragon, and then that whole little sequence there. All the stuff having to do with Death Adder there, because you don't really see him the whole game. You just know about him.
Now you gotta go to the Death Adder castle. That's kind of like Snake Mountain. Kind of looks like him.
It's serious shit.
You gotta take it down piece by piece, which is kind of cool.
Literally take it down. Yeah, that was awesome. The dragon would fly over to the next area, then it would just crack off, and then you go. But man, I gotta say, that whole bit was really awesome. I really enjoyed that. The just all the different, you're fighting the same bosses over again, but it was, the skeletons to deal with and everything. And yeah, truth be told, obviously, I quarter munched my way through it, but it was a blast. Again, it is criminal that this game never had a home release, because this would be some of the best couch co-op or online, sit with a friend and remote play that shit. It'd be awesome.
Definitely, because they got the moves you can do like with 2 or 4 players. Like there's like added moves, like you can do like spinning pile. Yeah, like if like when the enemies get dazed, where they're kind of like down on one knee. If 2 people are playing, you can do like some wrestling moves to them.
Oh shit!
Yes, I didn't get to do any of those, but that is awesome.
Damn. Yeah, you can't even do that on the What Up game, I imagine, because you can't play that online. Death Adder definitely got an upgrade in this one. He looked bitchin'. It was very cool. And, the first time, I get to him, and I'm like, oh, sweet, I'm just going to bomb this son of a bitch. And I hit the magic, and his shield swallowed all my bottles, just bloop, 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 bloop.
Yeah.
I just got a great chuckle out of that. That was so good.
No magic here.
Yeah. But one thing I did like a lot, and I figured this out after a minute, was, I comboed him, and then I did the special attack that knocked him up in the air, and then I did my potions and comboed his ass. And it was so satisfying, because in the first game, he would do that shit to you all the time. He'd knock you up into the air, then bring the dragon down to breathe on you, and then ground bomb and everything. And this one, I got to do it to him, and it just I had a warm place in my heart for that moment, because I was like, that's what it's like, you bastard. That's what it's like. Enjoy that shit. Enjoy my fire.
Yeah, there's like a lot of little touches that I thought were, like something in a sequel, something that adds to it. Like there's a lot more like just weapons. Like you get the little like cannonball catapult shooters, the arrow gun. I don't know what to call it. The mobile arrow shooting device.
Yeah, the spear gun there.
Yeah,
and you could mount those to your animals. Did you not know that?
I did not know.
Yeah, if you're riding a creature, you just go up to it and it'll mount it to its back, and then you can run around and shoot people. It's awesome.
Oh, that is awesome. I didn't know that. I didn't even try that.
Yeah, man. They're mobile weapon systems for your critters.
Oh, I feel cheated now. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very satisfying when there's so many enemies on screen that you just kind of run back to the weapon thing, strap it on, and just start blasting everybody at range. It's like, that's right. Eat it. Yeah, it's just all the things you want in a sequel. Everything better. It's more of the same that you're familiar with, but everything is amped up a few notches, and it's just the graphics are better, the sound is awesome. All the different things that they added for the combat system. Weapons for your animals that are already breathing fire, amongst other things, or electric tail whips or whatever.
Well, like the original had that map, that was kind of being like etched,
Yes.
showing you where you're going. This one's got like a dude's finger kind of pointing. It's like, you're here.
Yeah.
We're going over here, but it looked cool. Yeah, then they introduced some like new characters, like the native guys that were in it.
Yeah, with the masks.
Yeah, they look a lot like Mudman from World Heroes, but just a
Yes.
very stereotypical character. But they're nicely animated. They look cool.
In the first game, you kill somebody, they just turn gray, and that's it. But this one, you got people getting mauled by animals. You got them exploding splinters into, a million splinters. You can roast their faces off, literally. I mean, it's
Quite
good
literally.
shit, man. Quite literally. It's great. And I hate that I only got to play this in the arcade maybe once or twice because I never saw it anywhere that I was at regularly. And I'm grateful that I have, an emulator that lets me play this because it wasn't fucking around anywhere. And yeah, it's a kick-ass game that should have had a goddamn home release.
Yeah, it definitely should have. Somewhere, over the course of time. I don't know why, but it definitely should have, because it is a worthy sequel. It's much more worthy than the things that happened on the Genesis that came out that were kind of just like cash grabs, kind of.
For sure. Back to fighting Death Adder. That was a goddamn awesome fight. Not only because, you had the stages and you had to get his shield away from him so he'd stop sucking up your magic, right? And then you had to go back to fisticuffs and shit with him, which was awesome. But then after you kick his ass twice, you think it's over. Oh, shit ain't over. You're flying away on your dragon. Death Adder comes back for you. He's not having it.
Yeah, he ain't done yet.
No. He wants to really finish it. He's about to go Genkidama on your ass. But Gilius ain't having that shit.
Now, it should be called like Golden Axe, The Revenge of Gilius Thunderhead. Is what it should be called.
It should. That's what it should be. Because he got his goddamn revenge.
Yeah, he gives his life, but he destroys Death Adder. And
He split his wig.
Gary has finally been avenged. So
That's right.
yeah, his brother, man.
Poor Gary.
He
Yeah,
can't
man.
have
But this was, it was cool, man. I mean, it didn't have like credits or anything. It just starts right back and lets you, play some more if you want. But yeah, that's a great game. I'm very happy. I'm very pleased that I had an excuse to sit down and play through the damn thing. What are you thinking we're gonna do now, man?
Well, except we went, just kind of picking some games here and kind of unintentionally went down this no home release kind of rabbit hole. So I thought I'd try to stick with it. And
It's a good rabbit hole.
Yeah, definitely good to play something new.
Yes, new, old, old, new.
Yes. Vintage, retro,
Yeah, vintage.
mint. So I came across a game that's called Gun Force 2. It was made by Irem, and
Okay.
this game I didn't know of. It's never had a home version, and this is basically the game. After this game was made, then Irem kind of went into like a development hiatus or sleep where they quit making games for a minute, and that's when everybody that was kind of in Irem, or a big portion of the developers left, and they formed Nazca Corporation, which went on to do Metal Slug. So this is basically, their swan song for Irem. And if Metal Slug or the End the Hunt that we played is at all entertaining to you, then this is a good time. This really, so that's what we're going to check out.
All right, man. Oh, I love me some Metal Slug.
Oh,
Love
yeah.
it.
That was like so good.
So good. So good. I'm so glad you showed me that game way back in the day, because it still blows my mind today. Just all the crazy shit in it.
Awesome. Stick around next week. You want to see what Gun Force 2 is all about? Or, by all means, check it out before you hear this episode. But, until then, this is Jones with Das Pick, and we are signing out.
Later, kids.
Game over, yeah!